Hey, welcome back to another episode of Spontaneous Disruption. This is your host, Nikki.
Hey, and it's your girl, L.
What's up, L? What do you do?
Girl, these folks get on my nerves today.
Your coworkers.
I'm here with a drink. Yes.
I'm one of your coworkers. We don't work
directly together, so this is not no shots fired at you. But yeah, these folks decide they want to work at the end of the day, and I'm like,
on the weekend,
on a Friday. Yes, child. But other than that, I'm good. Just busy getting my stuff together, getting ready to go to Houston. We about to whoop on the Houston Texans ass.
I'm definitely gonna edit that part out because that had any place in the show. I don't even know what you're talking about. Y'all can get sent back home. I'll be here too.
Chicago Bears takeover. It's happening in Houston. You heard it here first. The Bears is gonna get in that ass, and I'm ready.
I'll be back. I'll be here to welcome you back home.
Girl, I hope not.
Hey.
I hope not. But if nothing else, I will enjoy my family because a lot of my family, I'm meeting them in Houston. Actually, they're meeting me here in Atlanta. They're taking a connecting flight. So that way me and the bae can meet them and we're going to fly in at the same time. We got a nice little Airbnb close to the stadium. It's going to be good. It's going to be lit.
It's fun.
Do they still?
I've actually never spent any time in Houston.
Okay.
So I've driven through, but I've just never really hung out in Houston proper. But it's like Gotham City. I said that, but like,
honey, we gonna see. I've never actually been to Houston, so I'm really excited.
I hear good things. Good things, other than the HIV rates. Or
oh gosh, I'm not trying to. I have zero interest in that. I'm not worry about that because that's not what she doing. That is not what she doing.
Oh, of course not.
Okay, so what you got going on? Tell me what you're doing.
Let's see. This weekend, I'm just, I probably have some work to do. I know, boring, but I also am going to be packing for my trip.
Yeah, you got a big one coming up.
Yeah, got a big one coming up. But I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. But I pretty much know what I'm going to take, but I haven't put it all together.
You gonna tell the people where you're going? Tell the people.
No, I'm not telling them when I'm going. I'm not telling them the dates I'm going.
Well, you're not telling them the dates you're going. Of course not.
Well, we just put context in it because you're talking about the Bears this weekend. So
yeah, but honey, by the time they listen to this, it's gonna be over.
That will be over, but my trip won't be over, and I'm gonna stay out the way.
Amen.
So, well, let's get into some technically speaking news.
All right, what you got, girl?
Well, we'll talk about Crowdstrike. You remember the software?
I don't want to talk about them no more.
I know, right? It's now infamous, but it was the one that took down all those companies and their networks all over the world, like back in July.
Yeah. Absolutely. They actually happened. Yep.
Affected only Microsoft operating systems. Well, they've been expecting like this onslaught of lawsuits because of that incident. And they have finally started. They've finally begun. Okay.
They hidden and not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Yep. So Delta Airlines is one of the big corporations that was heavily impacted by the outage, and they are threatening to sue CrowdStrike for $500 million in damages.
Yeah.
Their service was actually disrupted for like 5 days. I didn't even know that. I thought like they had flights and stuff that were down and like delayed for 5 days while they were trying to address that. And like even their competitors weren't impacted the same. Like United, I think it was only 2-3 days, something like that.
Yeah, girl, I saw that whole mess. Like I said, I flew the day after.
I didn't even say you were flying that weekend. Yeah,
I flew the day after that. I woke up and saw the news about it, and actually it was like 5 days later because the Bay. That's when I flew to Chicago for the my high school picnic, and the Bay flew in like 5 days later, and he was concerned that there was going to be issues. I believe he was on Delta, but
so it wasn't like every flight, and it was like for a day or two, like it was every flight, but then like it was just ramping back up with all the delays that they had. But CrowdStrike is firing back at them and just saying like, look, y'all have your own internal system issues that can't be attributed to like the faulty update, right? And I don't know. Delta's saying like basically they believe they're fully responsible, but either way, it doesn't absolve CrowdStrike of all responsibility. Mm-hmm. So Delta is not playing any games. They have hired a high-profile lawyer, David Boyce. You've probably seen him before because he represented Theranos, the woman, that blood testing company, and then Harvey Weinstein, as well as Jeffrey Epstein's victims.
Yeah.
So you're not playing around, and they are alleging that the update was due to gross negligence or willful conduct or misconduct, on behalf of, I guess, of one of the CrowdStrike employees. But it's really, really hard to prove that.
Yeah, they were saying that it was the wrong patch update that was run or something. That
would be negligence, but then willful misconduct, like someone intentionally did it. So it's one or the other.
Who knows?
And either way, still CrowdStrike, I don't know that they're going to be all that forthcoming about providing evidence. Like, what evidence does Delta have in order to prove that? I don't know what's going to happen, because it's not just Delta that's coming after CrowdStrike, but individuals who were impacted. So end users and stuff like that are also
a lot of people lost money. I understand. So yeah.
But basically, I don't know how they're going to weather this, but there are some contractual caps that are spelled out in their contract, not only Delta, but all their other customers. So if they're found guilty of negligence, it could potentially void the contractual cap. So think about that. 500 million is what you're getting hit over the head with by Delta. So if it's just kind of free for all, if they get found guilty of negligence or willful misconduct in any of these cases, they're definitely all of them are going to get paid. So anyway, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, we gonna see. Good luck to them.
Yeah, good luck. So you got anything?
Girl, this next story, child, I think it's going to strike a nerve with many, many, many folks, men and women alike, honey. So Jim Jones is set to revolutionize online connections with his SneakyLinks social media app. Okay. That name alone is probably quite triggering for some folks. All right. So you all know Jim Jones is, a rapper. He's part of the group, I believe, Dipset. Child. So he is stepping into the tech world with his bold new venture, and he's launched his own social media app called SneakyLinks. And I guess y'all can guess what that means, right?
You know what? He is, I remember him from Love and Hip Hop. So I think at the time, he was embodying the whole vibe of SneakyLinks. So I think this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think this is right up his alley. And y'all, she's the rapper. So we're not talking about the co-leader. So just to clarify.
Oh yeah. Not that one for sure.
Yeah.
You can probably tell by the title of the SneakyLinks that we talk about the rapper Jim Jones, that they're the kings probably of SneakyLinks. But anyway, it promises to offer its users unique experience by changing how people connect online. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the standout feature is a mood setting function that allows users to tailor their interactions based on their current vibes, creating a dynamic and versatile platform that adapts to the needs of its users. Okay, so it is supposedly a dating app, but it's also supposedly, to me, what it sounds like a social media app that kind of pulls in elements of TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Threads, and OnlyFans. That's the thing that gives me the vibe, because you can create these private rooms that you can actually charge people for.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I guess you can do various things in these private rooms. You charge your fee and you're able to monetize off of it. And there's also a mode called you switch to sneaky mode to connect with, they say, like-minded individuals. So I wasn't quite sure how it works. So I clicked on a few videos on YouTube to see if I can kind of figure out how it works. So it's sort of the dating app part. It looks like you can say you're just looking for somebody to cuddle with. You're looking for somebody to sneak a freak with. It's just got weird, terms like that.
Sounds so nasty.
So
they didn't learn anything from like Ashley Madison. They haven't said a single thing about data security. So all y'all sneaky links.
That's what I would be concerned with. Yeah. And guess what, girl? They have sneaky coins. Okay. So they have their own digital currency. So I don't know how deep did you read about this at all or hear about it?
I heard about it, but
so it's interesting. I was like, okay, so social media, you can earn sneaky coins. He rolled it out actually at InvestFest here in Atlanta, like a month ago?
Yeah.
So their digital currency is valued at 50 cents per coin. So you can add these sneaky coins to your wallet and you can cash them out, if you're charging coins. Interesting. I'll see. But like you said, I haven't read a whole lot about the privacy and if whether there's any encryption behind it.
Oh, mess. That's a whole mess. Like, I'm going to stay away from that just because of the name of it.
Baby, it sounds like it's exposure waiting to happen. So we'll see.
Oh, my God.
Why is it needed, though? People been doing sneaky links, sliding in folks' DMs and stuff. So
I think they just want an app to connect all the sneaky links to people to identify themselves as sneaky links, because that's not necessarily kind of embedded in Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And like maybe they have all one place to congregate, I guess. I don't know. I'm just
wondering how sneaky is it really? Like if you're a high profile person and you're sneaking with someone who's not so high profile, can they Snapchat or not Snapchat? Can they screenshot your messages after you say like who you are and share those? Like, so how sneaky really is it? I don't know. Do you sign an NDA when you sign up for it to say that you won't leak information? Who knows? I don't know, and I don't like it.
You know what? You should just download the user agreement. Like just so we can see, like
the user agreement.
We should do that. We should like take one of these and like download the user agreement and like point out all the problems with it. I
should have known somebody was going to come out with an app talking about sneaky links. I think the name alone probably might entertain some folks, but I don't know. I wonder if women will slide into, the sneaky links. I don't know. It sounds like it'll be for sex workers.
I know, right?
I don't know. Because I wouldn't, I don't know, but I'm a woman of a particular age. There's no way I want to be anybody's sneaky link. So
no, it's women of particular age who are out here
being a sneaky link.
Doing the most on these platforms. I've seen
it sounds like a ghetto version of Anthony Madison.
Twerking, doing the most. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Girl, boo.
Let's get into some low vibration news.
All right, y'all. So there's a New York man. He allegedly killed his ex-wife and her boyfriend while his teenage daughter sat in his car just outside the residence. Okay. So mental issues is real, honey. Folks have, they need to get their mental in order because there's no way this should have happened.
Wow. So he killed the ex-wife and the boyfriend.
While they were in the house.
He was just like, wait right here to his daughter.
Basically, yeah. He's a New York man, her mom as well. Yeah. So he's a New York man, and he's accused, because he hasn't been convicted yet, of shooting his former wife and her boyfriend after first texting his daughter, 15 years old. He told her to exit the house and wait outside in the car. Okay. And apparently this was somewhere close to midnight. I'd be like, Dad, what are you talking about now? But he instructed her to do it. She did what her dad said. So Daniel Coppola, he's 50, and he's the one who was charged with 2 counts of murder. His ex-wife's name was Kelly Coppola, 50 years old, and her boyfriend, Kenneth Pullum, he was 53, junior. I don't, because the daddy's still around. I don't not say junior, but yes, Kenneth Pullum Jr. He was 53. They had a Long Island home. And they were, again, like I said, he texted his daughter, told her to wait outside in the car. He shot through the door and went upstairs and murdered his ex-wife and her boyfriend, then proceeded to go back out to the car and drove the daughter to his home, where apparently he was acting really erratic, and he admitted to murdering them. So she called 911.
Oh my gosh, she had to have been scared.
She called 911. Isn't that horrible? Yes. And he was threatening to kill himself. It's like, dude, not that I'm advocating for suicide, but if you're going to kill other folks, maybe you should have started there. I don't know. But my advice to you is to get some help first. Yeah. It's awful. Like, and then to pull your 15-year-old daughter into it.
Right. That's
absolutely insane. So, you know, the police... It's terrible. The police searched his home. They found the semi-automatic weapon pistol, and he had a planning document, girl. He had described in excruciating detail what he planned to do. He had somewhat of a hit list too, girl. He had his attorney and her attorney on there. He said his own attorney? Yes, baby. He said the divorce did not turn out the way he wanted it to. So yeah, they arrested him. He had the nerve. He did plead not guilty.
Yeah. Wow.
And he showed up at his arraignment, and because he's been placed on suicide watch, but he managed to throw himself down a flight of stairs, and he badly injured his spine. But he showed up at his arraignment on camera, they said, from a hospital bed.
Oh, wow.
I know. I feel so terrible for this baby. 15 years old. Now she doesn't have a mom or a dad.
That's crazy. Well, he sounded like he wasn't much of a
daddy. Yeah. I mean, so I say is get help, folks. You know, I don't understand when, you know, people break up and it can be very painful, but you know.
So you're going to traumatize your child, your daughter.
You know, and I often wonder that, like, you think about your kid.
That was going to be the right answer. Wow.
Yeah, it's really sad. So yeah, that's low vibration news. I'm praying for that young lady, and hopefully she'll get the help that she needs to, you know, to thrive in life.
Yeah, well, and therapy possibly, right? So I am hopefully going to bring us a little higher with a highlight.
All right, I like
about Josh Aviv. He is the Bostonian Black founder and CEO of SparkChange, and so just. Background. Yeah, it's cool, right? I was like, you know, it piqued my interest. I was like, Joshua has been making these moves. He, you know, since about 10 years ago. I think it was roughly 2014, when he founded SparkChange. And it's a company, it's Boston-based, that provides grid-free EV charging solutions that make charging electric vehicles easy, mobile, and convenient. The one thing I liked about it is, like, you know, there's not the model dependency, right? Because I see all these charging stations and they're like Tesla charging stations, you know. So like, everybody doesn't have a Tesla. Like, some people have an EV vehicle. So, you know, I just think that this is really smart. But like in 2018, he went through the Techstars Boston Accelerators program, which, you know, they have accelerator programs for, you know, aspiring like tech entrepreneurs. And that helped him get some visibility and land a spot on Shark Tank.
I love Shark Tank.
Yeah, I used to watch it a lot more, but like I don't even know if it still comes on.
It does. I haven't seen it in a while, and I will look this one up, actually.
Is Mark Cuban still on it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, Mark Cuban and Lori Greiner invested $1 million into his startup. That was back in 2020. And since then, the company has grown like substantially. So he has now like close to 50 employees. So I would just say he has definitely established himself as a tech power player. And I guess, you know, to me, like, his success just shows that a Black job really can be like any job. It can be one that you create for yourself, you know. So hopefully that inspires other people to pursue their dream.
Very inspiring. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, we're going to see what's stinging on the internet here. You have got to have heard about Hunter Biden and his tax issues.
I saw a little blurb on it. Yeah, I saw a little blurb. You know, I'm a news junkie.
Yes. Well, yeah, I know, so much so more than I am. But so originally, I don't know if you know this, but like originally he was trying to negotiate with the federal prosecutors to say, okay, I'll plead guilty, but I'm not actually pleading guilty to like criminality. Like, I'm not saying that I actually did it. I'll just do it like just to appease you, right? Just, you know, I'll accept the charges, but I want to maintain my innocence.
So it's like a no contest?
Yeah. No. He was saying like he'd accept the charges. They either way, they were like, nah, we're not going for it. Okay. They were like, we're not going for it. So he actually recently, shocking the federal prosecutors. It took them completely off guard because his trial was just about to start. He pleaded guilty to all 9 charges of federal tax evasion. And basically, he had previously denied allegations that he intentionally avoided paying $1.4 billion in income tax from 2016 to 2019.
He got this.
So, yeah. And now he's saying, hey, I did it. Yeah, I did it.
He's waiting on Kamala to win so she can pardon his ass.
Why doesn't his father pardon him?
Because he said he wasn't going to. So
why? He needs to pull it. There's no way.
It's not a good look. If I were him, I would do it too. I would do it on my way out. Why not? On your way out, who cares? But for now, he probably won't. It's not a good look.
He's gonna wait till after the election, of course.
Absolutely.
But, so Biden is facing Hunter Biden specifically is facing a maximum penalty of 17 years in prison and fines ranging from $500,000 to $1 million. So, girl, if he don't pardon him, I just want y'all to know that if you ever wondered about whether Joe Biden cared about us or not, you should know whether or not he does. You should know he doesn't. Definitely don't care if he don't even bail his son out. That's also
Hunter Biden will not do 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 second.
Girl, I wouldn't even be mad. I would be your dad's the president. What else? Come on. All right. So you got anything?
Yeah, I do. So I'm not sure if you heard that Vladimir Putin suggests support for Kamala Harris. Okay.
Interesting. And that's supposed to be some homeboy, right?
No, just as U.S. accuses Russia of election interference. And, I take it with a grain of salt because, as you know, there's, his propaganda suggests otherwise. And, there has been some evidence and the U.S. is accusing Russia of election interference.
Yeah.
So, he was at this Eastern Economic Forum and he praised Kamala Harris for her infectious laugh and saying, oh, that must mean that everything's fine with her and that Trump imposed as many sanctions. So he's trying to make it look like, oh, Trump is so tough on us, but we think we can get over on Harris. So we want to endorse her. Joe Biden recommended all his supporters to support her. So we're gonna do the same thing too. We just gonna support her. And he had some smirk on his face, apparently. Like they said, a wry smile.
Yeah.
Don't trust it. Russia has a machine, that propaganda machine has backed Trump since 2016. So trust me that he is saying that facetiously, or he is saying that maybe to make it look like, oh, I'm afraid of Trump, but I'm not scared of Harris. So you might want to, vote for Trump. He'll be tougher on me, which we already know that Trump has a fascination with being a dictator. So we shall see.
Man, that's too bad. That's crazy. I don't know, whether or not they're interfering or not.
Girl, these politics, like you said.
I know, but
games they play.
Chances are they are. They've interfered in pretty much all the elections we've had. Basically. And it's more prolific now just because of social media and stuff. So, but I do think a lot of platforms are doing a lot to crack down on that. But I echo
a bunch of stuff they said, I think. So, yeah.
I echo your thoughts so I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
I'll give it, weigh it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But, I want to talk about Rich Homie Quan, which, this young man, he's a rapper, talented. I really liked his songs. Some of his songs I really enjoyed. He's passed away from an alleged drug overdose. His girlfriend of over a decade and the mother of his children found him dead on their sofa.
So sad.
She had, I think, gone to take one of their kids to school, and she got back, and he just was not moving and on the sofa. I heard the 911 call. It really was sad, and this.
I couldn't bring myself to listen,
Yeah.
I
listened. I was just because I want to know, if she did it, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm always, suspect because I watch too many, true crime stories, but I'm let me hear her voice to know for myself. So I did, and, she definitely sounded like she was, devastated and hurt and just didn't know what to do. And she just wasn't moving.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just also just really sad that he had to die from something like that, right? Like, these are time ago, but you use the drugs, and it's like, even if you're just using them for like recreational purposes, I just think it's just like a really bad habit to get into, because you just don't know when you're going to go like a bridge too far,
Yeah.
And it's not going to agree with your system.
A lot of these drugs, too, you just don't know what's in them. Like all this fentanyl, it's just too much.
It can be laced with
right now. And I don't know. I think I've heard that, he has admitted to having some sort of drug problem. I just, I wish people, maybe they did try to intervene and get him some help. I don't know. I don't know why a lot of the rappers feel like they have to glamorize that lifestyle, do drugs just to be up.
Mm-hmm.
And living that specific kind of rock star life. I don't know, I would say that I hope this is probably going to help someone else maybe get clean and get better. I don't know, but it happens so often. So I'm sorry for his family. I really am. Wasted talent. I mean, 34 years old. My goodness, that is way young.
And leaving kids behind. And,
has gone way before his time. It's so sad. Yeah.
But it kind of brings us to our main topic, which is about Breaking Bad. Not the TV series, but
I love that TV series. But Breaking Bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, taking drugs and falling into some type of drug pattern, even if it's just recreational, it's not safe, right? And just doing it socially and habitually, whatever, either one is like not cool. But like, we can develop all types of habits. And so I think it's like really important for us, even if you do get kind of consumed with something like that, that you equip yourself with like some tools to break those habits.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I personally, I think I have some bad habits for sure. Absolutely have some bad habits.
You wouldn't be human if you didn't have bad habits.
Right. I think it's natural to have some bad habits, but I do think that in some of my habits that I would consider bad are, ones that I'm improving upon, right? It's an uphill battle, but I'm also like improving upon them. So just wanted to know if like you had any strategies. And I'd like to share a few for like resolving them and trying to like kick bad habits.
Of course I have bad habits, and, there are times when I can see that I am actually doing some of the habits that I shouldn't be doing. And I have ideas and thoughts about how not to, partake in some of those habits. And a lot of the times it really has to do with mindset.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So
I just feel like if I put my mind to anything, I can make it happen. I typically have reverted to some bad habits. Of course, like when I'm like overeating or something like that. And one of my big ones really is like procrastination.
Yeah.
Those really are the two things that I really could change.
I sometimes like eat bad, and so one of the strategies I think like important, I found this really good article on breaking bad habits and stuff, and that's what got me thinking about this. But one of them is identifying like the root cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that? Like that requires like some self-discovery to figure out like where it started.
Yeah.
How long you've been doing it? Like, what is it? How are you feeling whenever you do it? You know what I mean? So in mine, like with my eating, it's just from like not being prepared to have something healthy to eat. Cause like I'll eat healthy. I pretty much will eat whatever's in front of me. You know what I mean? But like, it's easy for me to reach for something that's healthy when it's already cooked. I actually tend to go for like the low hanging fruit, like the lowest effort possible. Right.
Yeah.
So if I go ahead and cook and prep my meals and like have stuff in the house and I don't have to worry about going to the grocery shop, then I'm going to eat healthy. But like, if I'm not, then I'm not going to do that. I'll
agree
order
with
something.
You.
I will, you know what I mean? I'll go get something, junk food, like whatever. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you. I think most of the battle. Probably 99.9% of bad habits can be broken if you're prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's mindset, but it's also preparation. So if you're prepared, it's just like hitting the easy button. So I agree with you. Like, if I don't have anything, if I get to a point where I'm starving, I'm going to grab the first thing that I see. I don't care what it is. But, you know, if I have healthy food in my home, and I know that I'm trying to break a bad habit of not eating foods that are not healthy for me, I'll definitely reach for something that's already prepared and something that's healthy.
Kind of brings me to the next one, which is like replacing that bad habit with a good one. Like, you know, is it just kind of a tick? You feel like you have to do something. So like, if you always have to reach for a midnight snack, then one, the preparation, right? And having something healthy to grab, you know, reach for. Oh, I want something sweet. So it's not ice cream necessarily, you know, maybe it's Greek yogurt or, you know what I mean? Like something else, right? And just like maybe not having that stuff available to you when it comes, like, I don't know, or maybe it's not eating at all, not snacking at all. And you really need to address, again, going back to the root cause, the fact that you're not sleeping through the night. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's maybe the real issue. You won't be having a midnight or 3 a.m. snack if you just sleep through the night, right? Yeah. So, and then I guess like the last thing I just want to say is just really about like being practical. So don't try to think that you're going to like change your bad habits overnight. It takes some conditioning and some practice, and don't be afraid to ask for help and support. So like with me, with my eating, if I'm going out to eat, like I'm asking my friends, hey, can we go someplace healthy? Oh, I'm meeting you for lunch. Hey, you know, I really want to go somewhere where I can choose something healthy, or, you know, maybe get some seafood or something within my diet. Yeah. You know,
I've seen you do that. And it is a lot of it also is just discipline to me, you know, especially for me, because I've seen myself achieve incredible things, you know, with my eating and working out. And because I just think to myself, where am I trying to go with this? Am I trying to just be healthy? Is there a certain look that I'm trying to achieve? And once I focus on anything, even, you know, as far as work is concerned, you know, I do have a habit of procrastinating, especially when there's something I really don't want to do. But when I'm like really focused, I actually get those things out of the way first. The thing that I really don't want to do, I just go ahead and do that first. You know, it just takes continuous practice. Sometimes I have a habit of going back to some of those bad habits because in all honesty, I'm just like, it's my mindset. I just don't want to. I'm like, I just don't want to deal with it right now. And it kind of snowballs. That's the same thing with working out and eating and my weight. And then next thing you know, I look up, I've gained 10 pounds because I just didn't want to deal with it. But to me,
it's also like what you're saying, like visualizing where you want to go in your success. Like, hey, I want to see myself looking like, you know, bad as AF, you know what I mean, in that dress at that particular event. And maybe it's just something as simple as that, right? Or like next time I go to the doctor for my annual checkup, like, I want them to say you've lost X, Y, and Z, or like your blood pressure is great, or, you know, whatever it is. Right. So,
yeah. A lot of it is like just the bigger picture too, for me. Like I'm always thinking about where I want to be in my life. And I think about how I need to get there. And that just takes good habits. It takes planning and good habits and discipline.
It's so funny you said that, because speaking of coworkers earlier, I was talking to somebody about like professional goals and stuff, and they basically needed somebody on my team, like needing guidance. And I was just like, think about Google Maps, right? You have to know where you're going to go in order to plan your route, right? You know what I mean? Like in order to decide how you're going to get there, there may be different ways to get there. It may give you option 1, 2, or 3 in terms of like options to choose for the direction and path you're going to take. But you have to know where you're trying to go. So I think it's just basically a great example of that.
Yep.
Anyway, I think that brings us around to each one teach one. I don't know if you have any special nuggets you want to share with people.
It is about.
Go first. Mine is actually relating to breaking bad habits. So,
well, this one is too. I mean, I have to say, really, like, this week I just learned to be prepared. Be prepared because you never know what else is coming. So as I spoke about traveling earlier in the show, I put off packing until today, and I wasn't able to get to it. I've been like super busy. I leave tomorrow, but I anticipated that my Friday would be slow because it typically is. So it wasn't. And I have still yet to pack, and I leave tomorrow. So my lesson is necessarily not to wait to the last minute because you think, your typical, is going to happen, or the norm is going to stay the norm. It's not the norm all the time. So you just have to be prepared. And so now here I am with a pile of clothes on top of the bed trying to decide what it is.
Right. And then if you need anything, then you got to run out tonight and go grab it.
Absolutely. And who wants to be running around? And I still have to clean my house too. I like to, before I travel, I always like to clean, come back to a nice, clean, peaceful home. So that's my lesson. So just be prepared and don't expect that just because things are typically one way, you're going to just put off everything and then your day is pretty much screwed.
I'm gonna sum this up by saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I've known this trip was coming a month ago, and still.
Yeah.
So that's my each one teach one, folks.
Cool. I love it. So mine is, today, in light of the main topic, breaking bad habits, I want to encourage people to stop people pleasing. And so I want to give honorable mention to Mike McClure Jr. He is the pastor of Rock City Church in Birmingham, Alabama. And he recently preached a sermon called Don't Lose You. It's called Don't Lose You, which you can find on YouTube. And so, girl, all I can tell you is, like, I heard it and it just spoke to me like hella loud and clear. And like, I just want everybody to break the habit of people pleasing after hearing this. But like, here are the takeaways. So he says, you need to be focusing on going as hard for yourself in the next season of your life as you've been going for other people. He added that you can expect those people to maybe call you selfish, but that those folks are simply going to be upset because they can no longer benefit from all that you've been doing for them. When in actuality, they really should be happy and supportive of you because you're doing, because you're trying to do more for yourself. He also said, I feel like these are like spiritual isms, girl. He said, people pleasing is the ultimate betrayal of self. That's number one. Number two, he said, the reason you are as blessed as you are is because of how you love people. The reason you're as stressed as you are is because of who you love. And finally, the third is like, your problem isn't what you do, but who you do it for. Yeah. Girl, I was like, if this ain't a word right here.
What that actually kind of resonates with me? I saw something because,
girl,
Kendrick Lamar is doing the Super Bowl and everybody's mad at Jay-Z. And Jay-Z said something like, anytime somebody's mad at me, it's because I didn't do something that they wanted me to do, sort of thing. That's what they're mad about. Right. So I didn't do that thing for them. They're thinking about themselves. Yeah, people pleasing. Yeah.
So, and I did also see Lil Wayne come out and speak about that. I don't understand why he was so hard. Like, did somebody tell him that he was going to be him? I don't know. I don't want to take anything from Lil Wayne because I actually really love Lil Wayne as a rapper, but like, I'm also happy for Kendrick Lamar. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they'll maybe.
The issue is Kendrick Lamar is not the game. The game's going to be in New Orleans, and people just felt like Jay-Z should have picked someone from New Orleans.
That's not necessarily the case. Like, that's so wild. But
so everybody's coming out and having complaints. Yeah, and Jay-Z's like, whatever, man.
Well, again, we're gonna recap. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And stop people pleasing. Stop it.
I love that.
Do it for yourself. Anyway, so that brings us to the end of our show.
And we want to thank you so much for sticking with us as we continue to grow.
You can listen and subscribe to the show on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We also invite you to like and follow us on IG and TikTok, and email us at spontaneousdisruption@gmail.com to chat with your host or propose topics for future episodes.
And with that, we'll see you next week, and we out.